Well, g'day everyone and welcome back to the channel. Tonight we're in the kitchen again. I find with the weather starting to warm up and the garden starting to produce that it's time to cook more and more of the fresh food that's coming out of the garden. So tonight we are going to make a nice little bacon, spinach and potato frittata, and yeah, that's dinner for tonight. Alright, away we go. Alright everyone, we're going to start out with our freshly picked spinach that's been all rinsed off. Just going to slice up the stalks. They'll go in early in the cook just to help to keep them tender. Now I always try and use the stalks in the cooking. Just going to roll up the rest of it. Just slice it thin. Might end up being a bit too much, but we'll see what happens. Alright, now over to the stove we go. Okay, just going to start with a couple of spoons of butter. Just to get everything slick. Okay, to the butter, just adding a good handful of bacon pieces. We'll add in the stalks of our spinach. Couple teaspoons of garlic. Okay. All that dancing around and cooking down. Just looking to add a bit of colour and flavour at this stage. And on top of that, 3 sliced, and I've just brought these potatoes up to the boil in some water, so from cold to the boil. Just let them sit for a couple of minutes just to cook them through a little bit, but they're not sort of soft. Still a little bit of crunch to them. And we'll just let all of that cook for a bit. As you can see, that's all starting to pick up a bit of colour in now, which is awesome. So from here, can turn the heat down a little bit, and we'll add in some of the spinach. Go about half of it, see what happens. Some of the water out of where it was rinsed. And just put a lid on it and let it steam down. Now while that's happening, we'll nick across and get the egg mixture ready to go on it. Okay, we're going with the 5 eggs because that's what I had in the fridge. We'll bulk the mixture out a bit with a bit of milk. Okay, seasoning. I'm gonna go with a pinch of salt, fresh cracked pepper, now the next part's up to you, but I'm gonna eat it, so I'm gonna be putting in what I like. So that's some oregano leaves. Oregano goes well with eggs. Some chives. Fresh would be good, but I don't have a herb garden at the moment. And some smoked paprika. Go. Okay, back over the pan. Oh, steamy. You see that spinach is wilted down nicely. I added the rest of it to it. And I'll give it all a good mix up so everything's incorporated. So yeah, that big bunch of spinach broke down pretty well. Okay, we want that pretty flat. Just make sure that the spinach spread out properly. Bit of spinach everywhere, potato everywhere, bacon everywhere. It's a good day. Okay, lastly I'm going to sprinkle on just a handful of cheese. And maybe a bit more. Just before we put the egg in, I'm going to turn on the grill, or broiler as it may be known to some people. So yep, just going to turn that on so that's ready. Okay, back over at the stove, and we're now up to temperature again. And all we're going to do is we're going to pour our egg mixture over the top of that. I'm not going to stir it, just want to open up gaps and make sure that egg's gotten down through everything. Okay, so I'll just let that sit for a couple minutes and cook like that. And then once we've sat for a couple minutes, we'll go into the grill and just set the top of it. So back in a few minutes. Okay, as you can see, we're getting this little crust around the edge where it's starting to set. Put the spatula in, and starting to get a bit of a resistance in there. So, oh, that's getting pretty close. So from here, we'll take it down and put it in the grill. Now because this one's got a plastic handle, just want to reflect the heat back up off the handle. I wouldn't recommend doing this at home, but it's the one I've got and the dinner I'm making. So we'll just leave that in the grill until the top is pretty much set. Okay, as you can see, we're getting a bit of colour on the top. There's no jiggle left in it. Still a few soft spots, but they should firm up. So we're just gonna put that aside and we're gonna rest it for 2 to 5 minutes. Just make sure it all firms up and sets up, and also help to release it from the pan a little bit. So we'll be back soon to plate it. Alright folks, there we go, it's all cooled off. Just slip the egg slide around the edges. Just make sure it's all loose, moving around. Okay. Plate over the top. Hot pan. And there we go. Okay, some nice caramelization. And there we go, all cooked through nicely. So, what does it taste like is the big question. And it's delicious. Alright folks, there we go. There's another cooking video for today. So please hit the like, hit the subscribe, hit that little bell notification so you know when I've got further cooking videos or any of the other videos I do. Again, thank you very much for watching, and bye for now.